I did suggest that it's helpful to have a block and a blanket for today's practice, so that might be something you want to grab. And we're going to go into a little spinal series here. So I'm going to rename, for the purpose of the recording, that today's focus of class is on the relationship, the sacred connection between hips and heart. To take a moment to really ground yourself into the hips and the three-dimensional bowl of your pelvis. And this next set of movements will really help with that. So we're going to find a rotation of upper body around your pelvis and your hips. Inhale, drawing your heart forward. Exhale, rounding back. And just moving with your breath. So this is very organic and very much a listening practice. So that if at any point you find a little pocket of sensation that is calling for your attention, allowing yourself to pause there, find little micro movements, and really enjoy the sensation. Sometimes the very first awareness of sensation might have a little discomfort, but as you send your breath and awareness there, your intention to listen to your body, you might notice that something shifts. And then going in the opposite direction, finding your way, softening through low back. Again, a nice place to check in with your diaphragm and exploring any release there. You can also explore here how, as you engage through the abdominal muscles on this rotation, that it creates a little massage across your digestive organs. So, lovely morning practice and lovely evening practice. What's beautiful about opening this up to a world community is that we're practicing at all times of the day. Good, and then when you feel even on both sides, allowing your spine to lengthen, and a few seated cat-cows. Exhale, tucking your tailbone, rounding through your shoulders, and inhale, reaching the tailbone back, lifting your heart and the crown of your head. Finding a few more like that. Moving with your breath. Good. We'll continue the movement, taking hands to shoulders, opening the shoulders, lifting the chin, and exhale, tucking your chin, elbows come together in front of the heart. Moving, breathing. This is a lovely place to explore that relationship between hips and heart. And also the breath. So maybe sending the breath out the mouth, drawing the diaphragm back. Maybe a sound comes with it. And a place to release any of that tension that can maybe holding us together. For this period of time, the container held for you, I invite you to let yourself soften and take up space. Know that you don't have to constrict or grasp. One more. Inhale, expanding the arm. Exhale, pressing palms. Inhale to open. Exhale. Sweeping it open like wings. Exhale, coming to center, midline. One more to open. And exhale to release. Lovely. From here, we'll come into a twisting practice. We did this one a few weeks ago. It's I'm going to call it a teepee twist. The legs are going to be in a little teepee shape here, and not toilet paper. You know, the kind of teepee we can go and sit in. We have a whole new association with toilet paper right now. All right, inhale, we're going to draw the arms up overhead, and exhale, just a simple twist. We're going to take the right fingertips behind, let the left hand just rest. We're not forcing anything, and we're allowing the right shoulder to draw back, maybe the chin toward the right shoulder. Coming back to breath. And then inhaling center. And exhale the other way. Left fingertips behind, right hand can simply rest. Maybe taking your chin around to your left shoulder, your eyes to the corners of their sockets. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen. And coming back through to center. From here, you can either repeat the teepee twist, or we're going to take the left heel toward the right hip, and right foot will come up and over. Another option is left leg can go long and right foot can cross over. So finding your version, we're going to take a second twist here. Inhale. Exhale, right fingertips by the sacrum, lengthening the spine, and then either elbow or hand around, just deepening. What's nice about the lifted leg is that it creates a little compression into the psoas on the right side. Inhaling through center. Exhale, releasing your hands, releasing legs straight out in front, and for a moment just shake them out. And then we'll find twist on side two, your variation. You can return to the open twist, or this time, oops, I'm gonna switch it out. Right heel toward the left glute, left foot over, maybe the right leg is extended. Left fingertips behind, inhale, finding a long spine, and exhale, elbow or hand. A little compression into the left psoas. You can ground into that firm base of the pelvis, and then allow the twist to come from the mid-thoracic spine. So again, let your breath be a little massage for the diaphragm. The psoas muscle, sometimes referred to as our fight and flight muscle, can be activated when we feel afraid, in part because it is connected through the connective tissue to the diaphragm. So when we release the diaphragm through the breath, especially a long, slow exhale, you're communicating to your body that you're safe. And it helps with that psoas release. Coming back through to center, releasing your feet, and then once again extending your legs long, and just allowing yourself to shake it out. Beautiful. So we're going to come onto our backs. This is a great place to either have a block, your dictionary, your pseudo block, or a blanket. So you can have some choices for how you want to come into this next set of postures. And we're going to start out coming all the way down onto the back. Hopefully you can still see me okay. And just allowing yourself to bend the knees so that the knees are up toward the ceiling, soles of the feet on the earth. Feel your relationship to gravity once again. You might place your hands over your hips or one palm over your navel and one over your diaphragm or one over your heart. Just soften the shoulders, soften your jaw. Let your hips be heavy, the back of your head be heavy. And then from here, we'll find a few lifts and lowers of the hips. So you can allow your head just to rest, your gaze staying up so we're not turning our neck here. And then we're going to roll the tailbone up and roll the pelvis off the floor. We're not going into a full bridge. You could just let the hands rest and then rolling back down. A few more like that with the breath. Inhale, lifting. And exhale to lower. 2 more. Just feeling your own fluidity, your ease. And then for this next one, this is where your block or blanket will come in handy, and you get to choose the height of this. But we're going to lift through the hips and place a block underneath the hips, or a blanket or a bolster, whatever you like, and then let the hips rest down. From here, I'll invite you to lengthen out through your left leg. It's up to you if you want to just let the foot and leg kind of flop out to the side, or if you want to keep that leg active. I'm going to keep mine active. And then from here, either staying as you are, or begin to draw right knee in toward your chest, clasping around your right shin, and you get to choose how much compression you want here. So it's very likely that you'll feel 2 points of sensation. One might be in your right hip, a little sense of a pinch or a compression. The other sensation might be in your left hip as you're opening across the left hip flexor. Once again, our intention here is to go toward the psoas muscle within a context of safety, being held, being able to relax and receive. Some people refer to the entirety of the psoas as a bundle of connective tissue in itself, rather than having the same features as traditional muscles. The connective tissue matrix, or the fascia of the body, connects every part of your body. It's why when you open up one place of the body, you might begin to feel sensations somewhere else. And we really want to trust that process. It's a listening practice, noticing how one sensation ties to another. And then use your breath here to soften, to release, let go. We're going to slowly release right foot to the earth, rebend into the left knee. For a moment, pause between sides. Now, if it's too much on the block, you can do the same series with your hips on the floor. The block creates a lift and a bit more opening across the front body. So from here, beginning to extend the right leg. This might be a fine place to stay, or drawing your left knee in, taking a clasp, a grasp over your left shin, and then slowly, slowly finding your way in. You might notice that your digestion begins to bubble or talk. You might Sense how the sensation in the front of the right hip flexor extends down to your right foot. Or maybe how the sensation in the left hip crease is talking to differently on this side than the other side. It is exceedingly common to have different sides. Our one hip flexor, one psoas, can be more tight than the other. And just noticing, knowing your own tight hip without judgment. Allowing your breath to help you befriend sensation. And then from here, slowly begin to release through your left foot, rebend into your right leg, pressing into the feet to lift the hips and remove your bolster blanket block out from underneath. And then from here, something that we don't do a whole lot of in our culture, but we could really benefit from doing, is go ahead and lift your feet, lift your arms, and just shake it out for a moment. Yeah. Just letting something go. And then from there, soften feet to the earth. So we're shifting gears at this point. We're going to do some more abdominal strengthening. It's going to be really supportive for when we get into our standing postures. And if you have a block, it's a nice place to use one. You can place the block between your inner thighs and just feel how the engagement of the inner thighs helps to wake up through the pelvic floor. From here, placing your hands behind your head, inhale. And exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Moving with your breath. You can take this slow. Just really allow yourself to sense and feel along the way. Maybe you continue to exhale through the mouth. That's up to you. Two more like that. And then lowering it down. Removing the block. We did this one, I think, 2 classes ago, so maybe a month ago now. We're going to take the legs up and we're going to use the hands as a isometric engagement here. So pressing thighs into hands, pressing hands into your thighs, and maybe you even notice a little bit of a shake. You're really engaging, pressing. One more breath like that. And then soften and release, let your legs fold in and just clasp around your shins. You might even rock a little side to side. So no surprise, we're going to do that again. Taking your legs parallel, your shins parallel to the earth, knees above your hips, arms long, press firmly, press, press, press. Press your knees back, press your hands forward. Feel the isometric hold. Let the shake happen. I know I'm feeling it. One more breath. And then soften. Let it come in. All right, a variation on this one. We're going to take right hand to left thigh. We're going to press, 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 and we're going to 3 times. Inhale, extend arm and leg. Exhale, bring them forward. Inhale. Exhale, you can do it with a long leg. It's up to you. Press, 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 hand and knee. Exhale, and then come back into center. Side 2, left hand, right thigh, press, press, press. Inhale. Straight or bent knee, that's up to you. Press, 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 hand, knee, one more time, and let it go. Hands behind the knees. We're going to rock on the spine a few times if that's okay in your body. Remember, everything here is optional. And rocking up to balancing just behind your sits bones. Let your shoulders roll back, let your heart be tall, let your shins be parallel to the earth. Maybe you release your hands by your sides. Navasana, boat pose. You can always do this with the toes down, or you might choose to lift the arms, lift the toes. We're balancing here for a few more breaths. And exhale. Release it, let it go. We're going to roll over the shins into tabletop. All right, I'm going to make sure that no one's waiting to come in. Looks good. And perfect. It's good to see you. I like coming close in. I can see your faces. All right, so here's another place where your blanket might come in handy because we're going to have some knee down practices here. So if you find that having a little padding underneath your knee is helpful for you, have that at the ready. From here, we're going to find a few cat-cows. Just allow yourself to explore what we've already awakened in your front body, that core, in your back body. It's another place where we can really feel that hips-heart connection. And then free form, right? So just let yourself be guided by sensation, a few breaths to move in any way that serves you. And as you feel ready, we're going to prepare for tabletop extensions. So from here, I'll invite you to balance on your left knee and left hand, and we'll take the, right knee, left hand. We're going to take the left leg back, okay? And then you might stay just like this. You might choose to lift through the right arm. Inhaling here. And exhale, we're going to take left knee in. We're going to take the right hand all the way back, like you had a bowling ball and you were going to send it back behind you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling here. Exhale, we're going to bend into that left knee. We're going to draw the right arm back. Now this is a powerful place to stay, right here, intending toward making contact. Or you might do so. You might take hold of your left ankle and begin to find a half bow shape, breathing here across the front line. There is this connection between left hip and right shoulder. As you're ready, we release without slingshotting, letting it go, coming back to center. And then once again, just let your body integrate that. Maybe you notice a little grabbing sensation. See if you can find breath and movement to release that. And we will find side 2. This time, grounding into left knee, right hand, reaching right leg back, maybe staying just like this, maybe extending left leg forward. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale, knee toward chin, send left hand all the way behind you. Inhale, exhale, inhale. One more. And then from here, bending into the right knee, sending left arm back. This is a great place to stay, really powerful. Or taking hold of your ankle and beginning to kick in. Now we breathe into the connection between your right hip and left shoulder. That diagonal line crossing right through the heart center. Inhale here, and exhale, releasing it out. Again, a little bit of free form, finding your integration. From here, we'll find a modified side plank. What that means is we're going to take the right foot toward the right and extend your left leg long, taking left arm up overhead. You can stay right here, or maybe you take the left fingertips in the same direction as the crown of your head. Finding your breath. Now again, options. Staying right here, maybe lifting through the left foot. Inhaling. Exhale, maybe knee and elbow come together. Inhale to reach. Listen carefully. Maybe hand comes forward to left ankle. Curl it in. Let yourself really feel the curl and perhaps draw it back to a half bow once again. Now, not everything I'm sharing is right for everybody. So listen to yourself. Find the modification. You can go back to any previous spot in this practice. One more breath here. And then exhale without slingshotting. Release it all the way down. We move through table. Finding the breath. Wiggle it out. And side two. Taking left foot, right leg long, right arm up, maybe right fingertips reach, grounding into the outer edge of the right foot. This is a beautiful place to stay. Maybe you shift your weight, lifting through the right leg, finding some balance. Exhale, maybe bringing knee and elbow together. Inhale, reach. This one's different. Exhale, curl it in, hand to ankle. Let yourself feel the curl. And then on an inhale, maybe you extend into half bow as the leg comes back behind you. Finding your breath. And then release, let go. Coming back around. Tabletop. And move it through. From here, we'll take Anahatasana. Anahata is the Sanskrit word that refers to the heart center. This particular posture opens up through both the front and the back side of the heart. We curl the toes under, keep the hips stacked above the knees, walk the hands forward, allow your forehead to rest down, maybe lift up onto your fingertips and allow the heart to begin to settle down toward gravity. This is a lovely place to stay, Some of you may take your chin forward, which extends the heart down just a little more. From here, walking back up, walking hands back toward your knees into a tabletop. Inhale here, lifting head, tail, curling toes under. Exhale, lifting your knees, downward facing dog. You might move your blanket off your mat at this point, that's up to you. And then finding your way in here. Maybe bending one knee and then the other. Maybe bending both knees deeply. Exploring some movement of your spine forward and back. And from here, I'll invite us all to play with bent knees. So go ahead and bend them pretty deeply here, allowing your spine to get a little longer, and then allowing yourself to just explore what happens in the low back as you bend the knees. You can even actually curl your tailbone down rather than up. Curl it down for a little bit, like we were doing in that contracted position earlier. Curl both head and tail in the same direction, and then a little cat-cow right here. Lengthen it up, curl it in. And we'll be back to down dog, but for now, let's take a little walk up to the top of the mat, and we'll find ragdoll. So for those of you that have a block, this is a nice place to use it. Let the floor come a little closer. Maybe you want 2 blocks here if you got them, right? Or palms can be on the earth, pinkies to elbow creases. A lovely place to let the head hang. You can nod yes, shake it no. And then slowly bending the knees, finding a long spine, engaging navel toward the spine, hands toward the hips, and with a long spine, coming all the way up to standing. From standing, I'm going to shift my camera a little so my head's not quite so cut off. Okay. So from standing, here we go, we're going to do 2 variations of a half moon flow here. The first one is to draw the arms up overhead. I'm going to step back a little further so you can see my hands. And we're going to take the right hand, circling it around the left wrist. Now you can choose the width of your feet if you want them hip width or wider or closer. It's up to you. And then from here we're going to go over toward the right, really allowing yourself to circle the left wrist. You can take the gaze down or up. You can draw left shoulder away from the ear as you find that traction with the circling of the wrist. Grounding into your feet, meeting your side body, finding your breath, and then coming up through center. We're going to find side 2. Taking a hold of the right wrist and up and over to the left. Engaging through the legs. This side might have a different story. Gazing down or up, drawing right shoulder away from the right ear. And then coming back through the center. This next one, we're going to take the hands behind the low back. I'm going to go ahead and face away from you for a moment here. And we're going to find a little bit of a back bend. And then we're going to take the gaze over toward the right shoulder. And we're going to extend the hips just a little bit to the left. So We have this opposition once again, left hip, right shoulder, just another breath here. And then back through center. You might wiggle out the knees, wiggle out your hips. I like to wiggle. And then we'll find side two. We're going to start with a little bit of a back bend. You can have a micro bend in the knees. And then we're gazing over the left shoulder, taking the right hip a little more to the right. Find your breath. And then to center. Let it go. For any of you that are familiar with the trauma release exercises or the TREs, that is one of the core 7. And a lot of what we're doing today has some similar elements where we're releasing the psoas as a way to let go of tension and our response to the stress of what we're collectively experiencing at this time. I know for myself that I can feel like I'm kind of doing fine, I'm powering through, and then suddenly I'm aware of how much I'm holding. So my hope today is to give us all a chance to let go of some of that. From here, I'll invite us to inhale, draw the arms up overhead. And exhale, finding a forward fold once again. From the forward fold, this is a nice place to have a block nearby or two. We're going to find a halfway lift. Take your right foot a little closer to center and extend the left leg back. So we're in a halfway lift. Now, for those of you that don't have blocks, you can even use a little table or a chair under your hands here. So just finding what works for you. Inhale is here. Exhale, we're doing what's called a jiva squat, where we're going to bend into both knees, taking left knee behind the right, curl your chin in. On an inhale, extend it long. On an exhale, draw it in. Inhale to reach. Exhale, curling inward. Feel that hips-heart connection. Expand and exhale. One more here. This time, listen carefully. Exhale, we're stepping left foot to the outside of the right foot. So our feet are crossed. We're in an IT band stretch. We can bend into the right knee, fold here, or maybe walk your hands over toward the right. You might take blocks with you. So this is a good one to find your micro movements. What allows you to sense and feel that IT band in the outside of your left leg? You might walk the feet in the other direction. Who knows? Your body is yours. When you're ready, coming back to center, extending left leg back and stepping it down. We'll find this on side 2. This time left foot more toward the center of your hands, taking your right foot back, pausing here for a moment. And on an exhale, allowing yourself to draw knee behind knee, curling it all in. Inhale, expand, reach both head and leg back and forward. Exhale, coming in. Expanding long. Drawing it in, curling into center. Inhale, expand. Once again. Inhale to reach. And exhale, taking right foot on the outside of the left. So pinky toe and pinky toe are toward each other. You can bend into the left knee, and maybe you walk the hands over toward the left. or finding any variation that helps you greet the IT band on the outside of your right leg. Beautiful. Coming back through to center. Taking a moment to inhale, lifting through the right leg. Exhale, releasing it down. You might move your blocks to the side if you have them. Inhale, finding a halfway lift. And exhale, fold, planting hands, stepping back with the feet, high plank. And then from here, we're going to lower knees. We're going to lower chest by bending the elbows and the chin. Now pause here. A little inchworm position. Hips are lifted. And then lower the hips down. Let the legs be long. And a few breaths here, finding your way into baby cobra. We'll do 3. And you can choose how much weight in the hands. So maybe finding a lift here, maybe no hands. Exhale to lower. Maybe a little bit of weight in the hands. The hands can help bring the heart forward as you reach the toes back. And exhale to lower. And then one more. Maybe you lift a little higher. Exhale to lower. From here, curling the toes under, your choice, moving back through child's, tabletop, or straight up to high plank. Pressing back, we meet in downward facing dog. Second time here, taking your time. From downward facing dog, gazing forward and taking a walk or a hop to the front of your mat. Finding a halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way to standing. Exhale, releasing the hands. Inhale, drawing arms up overhead, taking a hold of the left wrist, coming toward the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left, switching it out. Inhale here. Exhale this time, different back bend, bending through the elbows, lifting the elbow tips, lifting your heart, pressing hips forward. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step back. High. This time, bending knees, elbows, chest, and chin. We're going to greet this inchworm shape again, feeling that hips-heart connection as you slither to the earth. Inhale right into cobra. Exhale, lower. Your way to downward dog. Inhaling here. Gazing forward, stepping or hopping to the front. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthening all the way to standing. And exhale right into forward fold. This time, bending the knees. We'll find Utkatasana, allowing yourself to lift through the heart, lower through the hips, and explore this relationship once again. So you can bring the hands into it, that's up to you. But what tends to happen is that as we get more into the intensity of the shape, as our hips lower, we tend to curl through the heart. So exploring just that right edge of sensation that allows you to keep the heart open even as you sit and greet intensity, greet sensation, greet the stress, the strain of our world. How do we do so staying open-hearted, keeping our mind open and clear? Inhaling here. Exhale, sweeping the arms back, and now allowing the chest to be a little bit more filled, fulfilled. Allowing yourself to stay right here, or maybe a single point for your gaze, to lift your heels, finding balance in drinking bird. Slowly lowering through the heels. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, one more time back. This time legs lengthen, inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Finding a halfway lift. And exhale to lower. Stepping your feet back. This time, an option to lower halfway down, bending the elbows, high to low plank, and then rolling over the toes, lifting through the heart, and exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. You can always skip that, always take knees, chest, chin, or press right back. From here, we will inhale, draw the right leg back and behind, and exhale, forward and through. Low lunge, a place where I will recommend a little padding as we lower the left knee. So taking your time to find this shape where hips are stacked above the left knee and right leg is in relatively a 90-degree shape. From here, you can take your hands to your low back and allow yourself to curl your hips forward. Once again, kind of finding that curling in shape. Heart, chin coming forward as well. And then from here, lifting through your heart, you might shift your weight a little bit more forward, breathing that left hip flexor. Once again, backing out, curling in. What are you noticing across the front of your left thigh? Inhale, lifting through your heart and shifting the weight just a little forward. It doesn't take a whole lot to get sensation, right? This one a little bit different. We're going to curl in, this time maybe taking your hands, clasping them at your sacrum. And then as you lift the heart, inhale and draw the knuckles down. A few breaths right here. Just feeling your relationship between your left hip and your heart. Slowly releasing the hands. Maybe you lift your arms. That might intensify the sensation. Find your edge. Inhaling here. Listen carefully. Exhale, sweeping the arms back, lifting left knee off of the earth. Okay, so now we're in a crescent lunge. Left heel is lifted, left knee is lifted, and explore that relationship between your left heel and the reach of your heart forward. Fingertips reaching back. Not an easy shape here. And then from here, a little bend into your left knee to draw your arms up. So rather than going straight, bending into the left knee, it's hovering off of the ground, and then releasing hands down once again. Clasping the hands at the sacrum, curling it in, curl it forward. And then from here, knuckles draw down as you lengthen through the left knee. Let that lengthening translate into the heart. Maybe a little lift here. Maybe you release the hands up overhead. Let the heart reach all the way through from left heel to left hip, diaphragm open, fingertips awake. And on an exhale, let's sweep it to the earth. Whew. Taking right foot back to meet the left. Let's walk it out for a moment. And then from here, lifting your left leg. Exhale, forward and through. And then lowering right knee down. I'm taking a little drink of water. Whew, that was intense. You know, when your teacher says it's intense, I think we're doing well. Okay, so finding a little bit of a width between that right knee and left foot so that when we come into standing, you've got a nice wide base. Hips are above the right knee, right ankle, and allowing yourself to find that curl in here. And then from there, a little shift forward. Doesn't take much to find that sensation across the front of your right hip. And a little curl. And an opening. Curling it in, taking hands, clasping them at the low back. This time we really curl it in. And then shift it forward. Let the hands draw down, lifting through the heart. Maybe releasing the hands, drawing arms up overhead. Feeling that connection. Right knee, right hip flexor, diaphragm, heart, fingertips. Good. Listen carefully. On an exhale, drawing the hands back, lifting through the right knee. If you need to step it a little wider, finding your balance. And this little airplane arms, crescent lunge. And then from here, bending into the right knee. Really let yourself curl it forward. Inhale. We're clasping the hands once again, and then draw it in. This time, let the knuckles draw down as we lengthen through the back of the right leg. Let yourself stay here. Or perhaps free the arms, feeling that whole long line from the back of the right heel, through hip, diaphragm, heart, fingertips. One more breath. And exhale to the earth, your way to downward dog. Stepping it out. For a moment, knees releasing to the earth, maybe hips back, either child's pose, embryo, or simply sitting on the heels, whatever serves you, to check in, to notice what's awakening in your body through this practice. From here, we'll come back through tabletop. And on an exhale, pressing hips back, downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhaling the right leg, exhaling forward and through once again. Releasing left knee, a variation. Inhale. This time, I'm going to turn to face you for a moment. We're going to take bear grip, so right palm facing up, left palm facing down. And then from here, we're going to lean into that right side a little bit. So we're finding a little bit of a lean. You might take the hips a little forward and just feeling that left hip flexor, side body. Beautiful. Inhaling here and exhale right into that airplane lunge. So lifting the left knee, finding your way into this balance. Inhale, lifting the heart, crescent lunge. Listen carefully. Exhale, we're going to open a twist toward the right side of your space. So turning toward the right bent leg. From here, right palm toward the sacrum. Inhale, lifting your left arm. Exalted warrior. Feeling once again left hip, right shoulder connection, right through the heart. Inhaling here and exhale, left elbow to the outside of your right leg. Turning toward left palm, maybe hands come into prayer, right? I'll show it this way for a moment. Now you can always lower that back knee and take a modification with the back knee down, right? So choices, listening to your body. Connecting to breath. And then slowly unwind, lifting up back through crescent lunge. Exhale, coming into warrior two. First time in this shake, and you might want to take a moment, lifting in and out of your lunge, breathing, right leg, new shape of the pelvis, and then allowing arms to lift up, maybe gazing over your right fingertips, finding your way in. From here, inhale, we're going to reach away from the bent leg. Exhale, extended side angle. So we'll place the forearm on the top of the right thigh. You might start with left hand on your hip. We're opening the chest, maybe left arm up overhead, or in the same direction as the crown of the head. You can gaze down or underneath your left arm. Whatever you choose, finding breath, allow it to be enjoyable here. Explore that relationship between the intensity and the uplifting. From here, we'll reach away, this time lengthening through the right leg. And exhale, we'll windmill down to the earth. I'm going to move my blanket off to the side for a moment, and we'll step the right foot back. On an exhale, lowering all the way down to the earth. From here, an option to come into locust. With locust, taking hands clasped at your sacrum, and on an inhale, pressing into the hips to lift your shoulders, your feet off of the earth. 3 deep breaths here. And slowly releasing, lowering down. The hands can stay by your side, taking right ear to the mat, to the earth, and then let go. Softening through your shoulders, your jaw. your hips, your feet. Drawing chin to center. Hands under your shoulders. And then moving through table. Inhale, cat-cow. Exhale, toes curled under, downward facing dog. This time, inhale, freeing your left leg. Stepping forward and through, grounding into the right knee if you want some cushioning there, finding that. Inhale. And we find bear grip on side 2. So turning left palm up, right palm, and then we kind of grab the fingers. So we're reaching, we're pulling in opposite directions. And then taking left elbow toward your left hip, grounding into the right knee, feeling how you can reach that right elbow up and away. Sending your breath into the right psoas. And inhale to lift. Exhale, lifting right knee, drawing palms back. Nice wide base of the feet, adjust as needed. And inhale, lifting up through crescent. This time, exhale, opening up to the left. So we're opening toward the left bent knee. A beautiful place to pause and stay. And if you'd like to move into exalted lunge, taking left hand to your low back, to your hip, and reaching right arm back and up, you can gaze over your left shoulder, feeling that relationship, right hip and hip flexor, through the heart, into the left side. Inhaling through center. Exhale, palms to prayer, and taking right elbow to the outside of your left thigh. So you can play here, you can lower the knee, listening to your body. Very slowly unwind the twist, moving up through crescent. And exhale. Finding your way in and out of the lunge. So we're making our way into warrior 2, side 2. You can lift and lower through the leg. When you're ready, maybe you commit to the lunge. Draw the arms out. Find perhaps what might be a more familiar shape. And then inhale, reaching away from the front bent leg. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm can connect. You can keep that right hand on the right hip, rolling the heart open, maybe arm up overhead, or sweeping around to the front of the room. Exploring the depth of your hips and the opening of the heart. And as you're ready, inhale, lifting away, lengthening through the left leg, reach, 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 and exhale, Trikonasana, triangle. Maybe you rest hand on shin or a block, finding your gaze up, down, forward or down. And then from here, softening, inhale. And exhale to the earth. Stepping left foot back, progressing forward. Once again, we're lowering all the way down. This time, an option for cobra, an option for locust as we did last time, or an option to come into bow. So we've been preparing for this all class, right? We're going to draw the legs up, take the hands around to the ankles. You can stay right here, or perhaps begin to kick shins into hands to lift through the heart. Finding breath. Maybe a little rock on the belly. And when you're ready, soften, release, hands by your side, left ear to the mat, to the earth. Let something go. Slowly, chin to center, palms under the shoulders, pressing back, and allowing yourself to find a little free form in table. And then from here, we're going to come all the way up to standing. Take a check on our time. We're doing okay. So we're going to find our way all the way up to standing for a little balance flow before we come back down to the earth. This balance flow is going to take us from well, you'll see it. Maybe I'm going to demo this real quick so you can see where we're going, and then I'll walk you through it. So it's going to tie some pieces together that we've already been playing with. In this, we're going to find our standing leg, left leg. I'm going to bring the right leg up. I'm going to move through this quickly, then I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to clasp the hands, maybe kick the leg forward, and from there, pendulum into a standing bound Dakasana, airplane. Now, we'll come out the way we came in, and we'll explore that together. If you looked at that and you said, that's not for me, so much respect. Finding a tree pose, beautiful. You can always use the wall for balance. You can find any other balance that's right for you today. If you want to join me in this one, finding your stance, left leg is going to be our standing leg. Make sure you're somewhat in the middle of a space so you're not going to kick a wall in front or behind you. And then from here, we're going to draw right knee up. So we're going to move through this a little more slowly. Taking a moment to clasp around the bottom of your right thigh, okay? Right hamstring here. And just feeling this shape. Now this is a beautiful place to stay if you don't want to progress forward into Dandakasana. Otherwise, from here, releasing the hands and a similar basket grip, this time behind your back. So opening up through the chest and shoulders, you can stay right here. Or maybe you explore extending the right heel forward. You might feel a little bit of shaking in one or both of your legs. That's great. Let that happen. And then from here, pendulum forward, reaching crown of the head forward, right heel back. And if you fall out, that's fine. Come right back in. Exploring this shape. Opening through the heart, reaching through the right heel. Finding breath. And when you are ready, we'll come back the way we came in, releasing the hands, this time clasping around your right shin and hugging, just as we did on our backs. Right knee toward right shoulder. Little compression. And then exhale. We let it go. We shake it out. Beautiful. Before I even said it, I looked over and some of you were like, I'm shaking that one out. Woo, good. All right, side two. Let's do it. Grounding into the right leg. Here we are. And then from here, lifting left knee. Now, we can start out leaning forward, clasping underneath that right thigh, and then allowing the heart to lift. Nice supported balance. Once again, beautiful place to stay. Otherwise, releasing the hands, interlacing them now behind your sacrum. Inhale, lifting heart. Maybe extending left foot forward. Maybe you feel a little bit of that shake. And then pendulum, all the way forward. Reaching through crown of the head, left heel. Reaching the heart open as we roll the shoulders back. One more breath here. And then coming all the way up, rebending into left knee, this time clasping around left shin, bending the elbows, and finding that contraction, knee toward shoulder. Little compression and opening. Slowly release it out, and you got it. Shake it out. Good. From here, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, we're going to bend the knees, and I'll invite you to come all the way down onto your back. As you arrive on your back, just checking in, noticing, what are you feeling? You can bend the knees, plant the soles of the feet on the floor, checking in with your breath. I have a little bit more of a guided floor practice. We might go a few minutes over. I understand if you have to exit, you can find your way to close if need be. Otherwise, taking right ankle over your left thigh, we'll clasp underneath the left leg for a supine figure four. So here, we're finding our way back down to earth. A very active, I believe, challenging flow, but one that has great benefits that I'm hoping you'll begin to sense and feel as we close practice and throughout the rest of your day, or for those of you that are heading to bed as the sun has set in Israel or is about to set in the UK or in Slovenia or Germany, Paris, wherever you're here from. Just allowing yourself to coming back in. Now, an option from here is to release the left foot down, tee your arms, lift your hips, bringing them to the right, and releasing the right sole of the foot to the floor. So we're still in figure four legs, and you might take your hand to the upper right thigh and might take your gaze over toward the right. Just breathing into this supine twist variation. Softening, letting the exhales let something go. And then from here, you can unwind the legs, you can bring your hips back to center, maybe a little rock here. And we'll find side two, taking left ankle up and over the right thigh. And taking your hands around and through, if you lift the right foot off of the earth. Now in figure four, just like any of our postures, you might notice sensation right away, or you might find some micro movements that make the shape yours, that help you deepen into sensation. And then slowly releasing right sole of the foot. This time the twist involves taking left foot to the right. You can pick up your hips and take them to the left as you twist. And then maybe hand to your left leg, gazing to the left side. Noticing how you can breathe a little bit more deeply, using your breath to let something go. And then slowly, slowly unwinding the legs, the hips back to center, maybe shifting a little side to side. And we will come into a brief final resting. Of course, you are welcome to transition into a Lunge if that is something available for you, but I will guide you through at least 2 minutes. So we'll end 5 minutes late. I really believe in the value of a good Shavasana, so if you can stay longer, stay. And one way or another, finding your way in. You might pause, bringing your knees into your chest first if you like, and then extend one leg long and the other, palms by your side. And you might place that blanket under your knees or over you for warmth. Here, I invite you to scan your body. Once again, notice any areas that are holding up against gravity unnecessarily. Softening through your eyes, your jaw, back of the head heavy. Your throat open and soft, collarbones widened, sternum like a butterfly just opening through the rib cage. Lungs expanding, moving with the breath, massaging your heart. The pericardium is the fascia that wraps around the muscle of your heart. This fascia that we've been opening and stretching this whole class, front and back, up and down. And as we stretch through the pericardium, it literally allows the heart to expand. The pericardium in Chinese medicine is referred to as the heart protector. So we've been opening the heart protector. In this space, no need to defend, allowing yourself to feel safe and supported, connected. The deep connection that we feel inside to yourself, inevitably translates to our connection to our loved ones, to our communities, to this planet that we share. Descending awareness, the diaphragm softens. Digestive organs, and if you are a woman, your womb, so deeply intertwined with this fascial release, also softens into that sense of safety and connection. If you no longer have your physical uterus, knowing that we always have this energetic connection to that space. And for men here, Allow yourself to feel the connection to your back body. All of us are hips, pelvic floor, hips soft, knees soft, ankles, soles of the feet. Once again, I invite you to stay here, or if you want to sit up for closing, perhaps to return here to integrate more of your practice through this deep rest and restoration. Otherwise, we will go ahead and sit up together, perhaps taking a moment to stretch once again. Slowly make that transition. Wiggle fingers and toes. Rotate your head. Draw your knees in, making your way to seated, maybe a long spine, maybe palm to heart center, or palm over palm. Honoring yourself, your practice, the space that we share, and the power of practicing in community. I am so deeply grateful for each and every one of you. Namaste.